OMJ Clothing is an elite men's clothing store that provides a vast array of spectacular brands of men's lifestyle apparel for every day. Elevate your business upscale casual at OMJ. Success comes from standing out.
Welcome to Dental Business Made Simple. Now, here's your host, Coach Matt Doherty.
Welcome to Dental Business Made Simple. I'm Matt Doherty, and I'll be your host. Today, we go deep on the top of the organizational triangle: talent, systems, culture. Today, we're going to talk about talent. If you get talent wrong, nothing else matters. You can have great systems, you can have great culture all day long, but if the wrong people are sitting in the wrong seats, your practice will feel heavy. You will feel it in production swings, case acceptance inconsistency, hygiene gaps, staff turnover, and emotional drama. And here's the hard truth. Most dental practice owners hire for skill. They look at a resume. Few hire for alignment. That is a big mistake. So let's fix it. What talent really means. When I say talent, I'm not talking about resumes. I'm talking about who is on your team, why they're on your team, whether they fit your practice, and whether they fit their seat. Talent is not about filling a hole in the schedule. It's about building a team that can scale. If you want $1 million lifestyle practice, you can survive with average talent. If you want a $3 to $5 million enterprise that runs without you, you cannot. The bar changes, and you've got to raise it. The real cost of wrong talent. Let's be honest. Most dentists tolerate people too long. I've never heard somebody say that I should have fired them later. Okay? They tolerate people way too long. Why? Because replacing them feels painful. It's uncomfortable. It's like going to the dentist. But here's what bad talent really costs you: lost production, lost patience, lost energy, lost leadership authority. Let's put some numbers to it. If a hygienist is not fully reappointing patients and your hygiene reappointment rate drops from 92 to 80%, that gap compounds. 6 months later, you feel it in revenue. If your treatment coordinator lacks confidence and the case acceptance drops 10%, that could be hundreds of thousands of dollars per year. Talent issues are rarely loud at first. They leak, and the leaks sink ships. Let's talk about the 4 talent questions. When I work with dental owners, we simplify talent down to 4 questions. Number 1, do you have the right people? 2, are they in the right seats? Number 3, do they know what winning looks like? And number 4, do you have the courage to make changes? So let's unpack each of these. 1, the right people. Right people align with your core values. If your practice values ownership, positivity, professionalism, growth, but someone is negative, blames others, and resists change, they're not the right person. Even if patients like them, even if they've been there 10 years, culture erosion happens slowly, and then suddenly, as the owner, you set the standard. If you tolerate misalignment, you endorse it. Your culture is what you allow. Number 2, right seats. This is where many dentists get stuck. Someone could be a great person, but they're in the wrong seat. Example, you promote a strong assistant into an office manager because they're loyal, but they lack financial acumen. They avoid conflict. They don't hold others accountable. Now your front desk underperforms. Insurance claims lag. AR creeps up. You say, I have a systems problem. No, you don't have a systems problem. You have a seat problem. Clarity matters. Every key role in your practice should have 3 to 5 measurable outcomes, clear authority, defined expectations. If you cannot write that down, you do not have seat clarity. Let's talk about number 3. What defines winning? What does it look like? Most dental teams do not know the score. Ask your front desk, what is your primary metric? If they hesitate, that's on you. That's a leadership problem. Examples: hygiene, reappointment percentage, production per day, treatment coordinator, case acceptance percentage, scheduled production, office manager, AR days, collections ratio, overhead percentage. You cannot manage what you do not measure, and your team cannot win a game without a scoreboard. You're running a business. You went to dental school, not business school. We need to help you run a business. Act like it. Let's talk about number 4, courage. This is where leadership shows up. You already know who your bottom 10% are. You do. The question is not awareness, it is action. High performing practices protect standards. They do not protect comfort. When you upgrade talent, strong players feel relief, A players lean in, and accountability rises. Weak standards repel strong talent. Strong standards attract it. Which environment are you building? The famous football coach at Alabama, Nick Saban, always talked about A players like playing with A players. They don't want to play with B and C players. And you know what? B and C players don't want to play with A players because they get exposed. The bar's too high for them to perform at a consistent level. All right, let's talk about talent and your growth ceiling. Here's something most owners do not consider. Your practice will not outgrow your team's capability. If your team can only handle $2 million in revenue operationally, you will stall right there. You will blame marketing, competition, insurance, the economy. Call that loser's limp. When you find an excuse, loser's limp. Like when a guy's running and someone passes him and only comes up lame, loser's limp. But it is capacity. If you want to scale, you must hire ahead of growth. You must develop leaders inside your practice. You must stop being the only adult in the room. If every decision runs through you, you do not have a talent strategy. You have dependence. You're the bottleneck. And dependence leads to burnout. Let's talk about the talent audit. Here's a practical exercise. Take a sheet of paper. Yes, we still use paper and pen from time to time. Write every team member's name. Next to each name, answer 3 questions. Would I enthusiastically rehire this person today? Number 2, are they exceeding, meeting, or missing expectations? Number 3, if they left tomorrow, would your practice improve, decline, or stay the same? Don't overthink it. Keep it simple. It's the KISS method. Keep it simple, stupid. Trust your instinct. Patterns will appear. This is not about being harsh. It's about being honest. I talk about mining for the truth. You'll hear me talk about the Stevitt method, the 6 knows, KNOWS of leadership, STEVIT. Know yourself, know your team, environment, vision, industry, truth. You got to mine for the truth. Let's talk about hiring the right way. When you hire, slow down. Hire slow, fire fast. Hire slow, fire fast. Stop hiring out of desperation. Instead, hire for values first. We've talked about culture. What are your core values? Okay. Interview for values. What are the behaviors that this person has done in the past that they will do in the future? I worked for the Indiana Pacers as an NBA scout, and I remember talking to our sports psychologist, and I said, "What is the best predictor of future behavior?" He said, "Past behavior." Pretty simple. So ask behavioral type questions. Test for accountability. Ask those situational questions like, tell me of a time when you showed up late. Tell me of a time when you had to stay late. Tell me of a time when somebody was starting rumors in the office. How'd you handle that? Include team interviews. Okay. This person will be working with your team. It's important to include them. Here's some example questions. Tell me about a time you made a mistake with a patient. What did you do? Here's another one. How do you respond when you disagree with your supervisor? Do you pout? You have a mature conversation. Describe a time you improved a process. Skill can be trained, but I tell you what, it is hard to change the stripes on a zebra. Character cannot be trained, especially at this stage in someone's life. Let's talk about developing talent. Not every gap requires termination. Some require development or a new seat. You should have quarterly one-to-ones at least, maybe monthly. You should have clear performance scorecards that you go over weekly. You should have defined growth paths. If your hygienist wants to grow, what does that mean? Expanded duties, leadership over hygiene, mentoring new hires. How about this? Why don't you ask them? Growth keeps strong people engaged. Talented people are curious people. They want to improve each and every day. Matter of fact, that was my number one goal as a basketball coach, to get better today. Stagnation pushes your A players out. What is your role as an owner? Let me be direct. If talent is weak, it's not a staffing issue, it's a leadership issue. You hired them. I love this. When I work with CEOs and entrepreneurs, business owners, or even basketball coaches, and they complain about their players, I say this: you recruited them, you trained them, and you've tolerated them. It's a you problem. Ownership is not just clinical excellence, it's team stewardship. You are not just a dentist. You are the architect of the practice. You are the leader. You're the head coach. And talent is the first beam. Let me close with this. Ask yourself, where am I tolerating misalignment? Who on my team is underutilized? Do I have clear scorecards for every key role? Am I building a team that can scale beyond me? Be honest. Growth follows clarity. Thanks for joining me on today's show. Learn and grow.